Well, welcome everyone to the Luzerne County College Community Report. Remember, every month we give you a report of what's going on, and boy, there's a lot of things happening. And thank you for the nice response we had for our first show. And the whole purpose of this show is to give you an education of what's happening at Luzerne County Community College. Of course, it's very special to me, as you know. I was very happy and proud to be the person in charge of the building of this fabulous facility back in the 70s, along with my good friend who has passed, attorney Mike Udasik. But speaking of that, I'm excited about today's show because when we had the Board of Trustees, we had a great board, and one of the members on the board was Jerry Mrozinski. And little did I know, many years later, I'd be interviewing his son, who is the head of the business center here. Gary, it's nice to see you.
Well, this is very exciting for me too. He spoke of you often in his years on the Board of Trustees. It was all good.
Yeah. Your dad was a gentleman, and I'm not just saying this because, you know, when people, but he was very honest, sincere, and the purpose was to make things, help people get an education, you know, and he was one of the best board members, you know, on the board with me, you know.
Thank you. It's good to hear. Thank you.
Now, and it's funny because now you are in the college. So you're head of the Business Center program. Let's sort of break the program down so we could give our viewers an education of, you know, what's happening. So what are some of the business programs?
Okay, we have 4 major programs in the business department, and the largest is the business administration degree. We have about 300 students in that program, and more than half of them transfer on to 4-year degrees, bachelor's degrees in business administration, and some of them are already in the workforce and looking to get the business degree. Our accounting program has about 100 students, and that's a program that has tremendous employment prospects. We have employees, just over this past summer, we had 5 local employers contact us looking for students or graduates of the program to hire them because they're looking for graduates or even interns. But again, more than half of those students transfer to 4-year programs to become accountants. Just recently also, 2 areas of the Pennsylvania state government contacted us looking again for our accounting graduates or students. The PA Office of Budget contacted me through LinkedIn, and I think you interviewed the Pennsylvania Auditor General Tim DeFore, who was here on campus a few weeks ago, who wanted to meet with our accounting students, and he did. He had lunch with them and talked about employment opportunities in his area, and so that was a great experience. Also, healthcare management. That's a smaller program. We have about 20 students in that. Those students transfer to 4-year programs. And then paralegal studies. These are graduates who then become paralegals in law offices. And that's another program with great employment prospects. Every one of them has a job when they graduate if they want that area.
That's fantastic, because what happens is you have job opportunities available immediately. Now, the thing is, even though those jobs are available, do they still have to go and complete another 2 years after they leave here, or can they go into what programs can they, when they graduate here, and then go into the workforce?
Well, the business program, many business graduates don't go on to the, a little less than half enter the workforce directly. And a lot of these are already in the workforce.
Okay.
But don't go on to get the bachelor's degree. Accounting, there are jobs for two-year degree accountants. And that's who Pennsylvania was looking to hire, and the local employers.
Okay.
And paralegal is a 2-year degree. There's no 4-year degree for that.
Okay. So there's job opportunities immediately as soon as they go into the programs. Moving on to business faculty.
I'd like to mention, in addition to myself, we have John Sedlak, who has many years of human resource management experience before he came to teach full-time for us, taught in the evenings before that. Our newest member of the business faculty, Ricky Kokas, Professor Ricky is a CPA. He leads our accounting program. And we have many adjunct faculty who just are very valuable to us. And so the mix of these faculty are who teach our students.
Before I go, how many students in the business program?
A little more than 400.
400.
So again, it's about 300 in the business administration program, about 100 in accounting, 20 in healthcare management, 20 in paralegal. So those are the smaller programs.
And as you see each year, it increases a little at a time.
Yep, we've been increasing a few percent per year. 2 years ago, we increased by 7%. Last year, it was about 5%. We're still waiting for this year's numbers.
Now, there are many people who have jobs right now, okay? And this is not only for young people, but we have people who are, in their maybe 30s, 40s, that want to get, higher education. You have many of those in this?
Yes, I should probably talk about how our student population breaks down in the business department. About a third of them are what you would consider to be traditional students. So these are our main campus day students mostly. So traditional in age, I mean. So 18 to 22. The rest of the 2/3 are a combination of students at our off-campus centers. So we teach our business program in our Northumberland Regional Center in Shamokin, Hazleton Center, Wilkes-Barre Center, which is where our paralegal program is housed, the Scranton Center, and so those are students that take primarily at night, take courses at night. And then we have our online population. Those are the working adults usually who like the flexibility of the online format.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's great. Now let's talk about the business students. These are people that are in the program right now?
Yes, so this is my favorite topic, talking about our business students. And as I said, it's the cohort of people that are working full-time that are taking primarily our online classes. And that is just a great group of students to teach because they've got experiences. So our day population, we have a business club which I would like to tell you about.
Okay.
This is a group of 15 to 20 students that meet every week, and the focus of the business club is career development and career focus, and sort of supplements what they're taught in the classroom. And this is a very active group. We just had a meeting, our initial meeting, and we had 23 students for the first meeting of the year. Now, this is our main campus day students, so mostly the traditional age students. So career focus, they coordinate a business symposium each semester where we have working professionals come in and speak to the students about their careers. So they coordinate that, they contact the speakers, they introduce the speakers. Just a really nice event for the students.
What I find interesting is we have people who are, coming part-time who have current jobs. And sometimes they bring some good information because they're on the job, and they're able to share that with students saying, this is what I've experienced because I'm doing that now.
Right.
I remember when I was going to King's, I had the music stores, and so when it came to different business things where I was able to share, well, this is what we have going on. I'm living this right now. You find that sharing helping?
We do. We have a mix of older students in our day classes, but our evening classes, it's all people who are working that are able to do that.
And I find that very interesting.
Right.
Who are some of the people that you had in your symposium?
Well, we let the students decide on a focus. So financial services, for example, one of our symposia last year. So we had one of our graduates, Mandy Hendricks, who is now vice president and broker in investing, spoke. We had Guard Insurance, and they brought 3 speakers to talk about job opportunities in insurance.
Fabulous.
And another business symposium, the focus was small business management entrepreneurship. And so that's what the students wanted that time. So we let the students decide sort of the focus of it.
I found, in talking to some of the students that are going to LCC, I find most of these students relaxed and enjoying what they're doing. I mean, even though they have classes, but I don't see stress. I don't know what it is, but it's good. It's a good feeling. It's a learning experience instead of a stressful experience.
Right. Our main campus day students, it's important, we think, to get them involved in an activity on campus because that really improves retention. A student that has something to do on campus other than classes. Now, working adults, that's not possible.
I know.
But, yeah. And they're the ones that are stressed with work responsibilities and job responsibilities and family responsibilities. So we do what we can to accommodate them as we teach them.
I applaud those people because they want to make themselves better in education. All right, ACBSP accreditation.
Yes, our business programs are accredited by the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, something we're very proud of. We've had this accreditation since 2012, and so this is an outside organization validating the quality of our faculty, the quality of our programs, the quality of our students, the quality of the administration of the college, supporting the business programs, and it's just something we're very proud of. We were just reaffirmed our accreditation in 2022.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how many years?
It's every 10 years, so we just were reaffirmed. I'm humbled to say that I've been more and more involved in the leadership of ACBSP. I'm the vice chair of the board of directors currently, so next year I'll be the chair-elect, the following chair.
And what do you specifically do when you come in and you do reviews? What do you look at?
Well, first, just like with institutional accreditation, the business department undergoes a year of study. They collect data. The data supports meeting the standards that ACBSP has for the quality of, as I said, the faculty, the programs, the students. And what the site visit team then does, you submit all of this data in a self-study report. They come in and confirm all of that. They interview various groups of people. I'm sure you were interviewed by accreditors when you were on our board. Same kind of thing, except the focus is the business department.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, the transfer opportunities.
One thing we can say in the business department, college-wide really, but especially in the business department, is our credits transfer well. And the reason for that is there seems to be good agreement within higher ed, particularly in business and accounting, among the four-year schools of what should be taught in the first 2 years of the bachelor's degree, because we are modeling the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. So our bachelor's degree in business administration and our accounting degree transfer very well to all of the local colleges. So our students transfer to King's College, Wilkes University, Misericordia University, Marywood, University of Scranton, Commonwealth University, really all of the local schools. And even some further away schools, Temple, we have a good relationship with Temple University, and our students transfer well there as well.
That's good. Now, Tobyhanna Army Depot program.
Yes, they approached us, Tobyhanna Army Depot, a number of years ago and asked us if we would be interested in teaching on-site at the depot a cohort of students, they're employees, and these are employees who are shop supervisors. So they have technical backgrounds, so they supervise, for example, electronic shop, communications equipment shop, and their desire was to get them to work on business degrees. So we've been there, and we have a group of, I think, 7 or 8 that will graduate this year with the associate's degree in business management. And I could tell you from having taught there, it was just a wonderful experience to teach this group of students because, as you mentioned already, they've got experiences. They've maybe had experiences that day that apply to what you're teaching them that night in the classroom. And it's just a really enriching experience for the instructor, and it was good for them as well.
Nothing like someone who is living through it, okay? Before we break, being head of the Business Center program, it's like, like technology comes out all the time. How do you keep informed and being able to bring the latest of knowledge to your students, especially in the business world?
Well, one of the areas where technology has really affected business is the area of digital marketing. I should talk about our digital marketing program, which is an interdisciplinary program. So it's a combination of computer information systems courses, business courses, and courses in our communication arts department. Faculty from all 3 teach these courses, and the centerpiece of it is the digital marketing course, which of course is all technology based. But that's the area, that is the emerging area of marketing. So we responded to that very quickly. We put together an advisory board of people who work in digital marketing to advise us on the curriculum.
Smart.
And
That-
that's Chris Vida is our full-time faculty member who teaches that course, and he has a digital marketing firm, which of course makes him perfect.
Can't beat it.
To teach that course. Also, Kevin Jones teaches in the program. Again, someone who has his own business.
Yep.
Working in that area.
And that's keeping abreast of what's going on and being current, you know.
Right.
Well, Jerry, or Gary, it's nice meeting you. Once again, you should be very proud. You had a great dad.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure your mother was just as wonderful as your father was.
And I appreciate you calling me Jerry by accident. That is a compliment.
Oh, his father was on the board with me. Great guy, okay? You're watching the Luzerne County College report. Community College Report. We do it every month to bring you what's going on. As you can see, a lot of things happening. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back to the Luzerne County College Community Report. Every month, we're giving you an update of what's happening at the college. And if you just tuned in, Gary Mrozinski was here talking about the great things that the business program is doing. You know, we show the show many times, ssptv.com. Now joining me is the main man, no stranger to the show, that's for sure, John Yudichak, who is our president of LCC. You know, I was thinking, John, you must have interviewed you a zillion times, right, when you were state senator. But, you know, the transition sometimes, you know, from, you know, being as a senator, state senator, and now being a president of a Luzerne County Community College. I mean, you know, isn't that something that, you know, it's amazing?
Well, some of the skill sets translate. As I said in my inauguration on Saturday, I have 5 sisters, 4 beautiful daughters. That's 9 amazing women in my life that gave me a graduate degree in the art of compromise and capitulation with dignity. And that's 2 talents you need in higher education as well as politics. So the skills translate. I love being a part of it. Workforce development, economic development, and education were always a big part of my role in the legislature, and getting to work with great faculty members like Dr. Mrozinski, the head of our business department, hearing stories about what Luzerne County Community College is doing with the Toby Hanna Army Depot. Going to them, where you have folks that work a difficult job, a full shift, have family responsibilities, in addition to community responsibilities. Luzerne County Community College is going to them and getting them a pathway to an associate degree and on to a business degree. The legislature, just this past budget, did some very special things, not only a 6% increase to the community college budget line item, but also an articulation agreement that guarantees, as Dr. Mrozinski was pointing out, we build our program so that we're putting our students, our business students in accounting, finance, business management, they're going to be on a pathway to a bachelor's degree. Now partnering with our PASHE schools, and we're forming this great new partnership with Lehigh-Carbon Community College, Northampton County Community College, and our PASHE colleagues in the Commonwealth University, East Stroudsburg, and Kutztown University. We want to build a pathway to a debt-free education. I mentioned, again, in my inauguration, I'm the last of 8 kids. Joe and Sally Yudichak, blue-collar workers, gave their youngest son, who was a first generation in his family, to go to college, graduate from Penn State, a debt-free education. Kids today can't even dream of that, and parents, like myself, can't give that to my 4 beautiful daughters, because the price of education has gone beyond what most families can support. So that's where community colleges play such an important role, partnering with our PASHE system, partnering with our other 4-year institutions. If you want to get a credential that gets you into a career, that leads to an associate degree and a bachelor's degree, you can put that and you can stack that over a 2, 4, 6-year period of time while working, while meeting your family responsibilities and your career responsibilities. It's an exciting new time in higher education, and we're leading the way. I mentioned before we came on, 7% increase in enrollment. I think that's a recognition that Luzerne County Community College is the most accessible, best quality institution of higher education in northeastern Pennsylvania, and we are certainly the largest, larger than any other institution in northeastern Pennsylvania. And I think that's because of the tremendous faculty and staff that we have here that build really a tremendous ecosystem around our students, whether they're already in the workplace or whether they're on campus.
Well, you said you're talking to these different community colleges. Do you find the needs that they have are different than the needs that we have in the county? Different counties have different needs, or are they mostly similar?
There's statewide needs, certainly, that we have to respond to. Health care is a major industry in just about every region in Pennsylvania. And our nursing program here at Luzerne County Community College, there's none better in terms of pass rates in their licensure, in terms of guaranteed job placement after graduation. It's a tremendous program. We have great partners in the healthcare industry. But then there are also regional differences. I'll give you an example that I used. My sister Linda. She was well into her 40s, had worked in factories most of her life. She wanted to impress her young daughter that age is no limit. And she came back to Luzerne County Community College, stepped in a classroom for the first time, a college classroom for the first time, well into her 40s, got a pharmacy technician credential, and worked at Caremark CVS, a company that we recruited to the area a few years back with the help of Wilkes University and the Nesbitt School of Pharmacy. Luzerne County Community College was the only institution of higher education that stepped up and created a program that didn't exist anywhere in the region. Pharmacy technician, and my sister went on to a great career and retired from there. Very proud of her, and she taught us all lessons. Success is not linear, and it's never too late to go back to college, to go back, get a credential, and go on with a new career.
And that's exactly what the community colleges be, to fill those needs in. Looking as coming on as the president, what are some of the things that you want to focus on to make better? Not that they're not good now, but to make better. And you certainly are blessed with a great faculty. There's no question about that.
I continue to say there's no better story in terms of higher education in northeastern Pennsylvania than the 57-year story of Luzerne County Community College. Nearly 40,000 alumni. That, by the way, 99% live in Pennsylvania. Almost 85% live right here in northeastern Pennsylvania, making an impact every day in our communities. One of the things, and my priority, is to make sure we keep this great story going. We've got to focus on our fiscal health, make sure that we're sustainable. There's a lot of challenges in terms of the demographic changes in students and high school graduates coming out of our regional schools. There's going to be challenges, and we're looking, you could look Keystone, Penn State, Clark Summit University closed recently. The fiscal health of higher education is in a state of flux. It's being disrupted. That's my number one priority, make sure these great faculty members and staff have the resources.
Sure.
Make sure our students have the resources, and make sure that we continue to make this the most affordable pathway to a debt-free education.
Looking at the enrollment now as it increases, where are you at right now in terms of?
We had a 7% increase. We're probably, in terms of credit students, probably up over 4,100 students. When you bring in the non-credit students, that's probably another 3,500, almost 4,000. So probably up over 8,000 students.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Brian Upplinger, who's the superintendent at Hazleton. You know Brian.
Yeah,
right?
Does a wonderful job in Hazleton.
Are you getting your fair share from the state?
Well, we fight every year for that appropriation, both with our county sponsor and the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth was very generous this year in terms of a 6% increase. They have a new state board of higher education, first time ever created. That was something that Governor Shapiro, who I worked with when I was a member of the legislature, he's focused on higher education. He wants it to be more affordable. He wants more pathways to debt-free education. He wants to make sure that we're reflecting the marketplace, that our degrees, our credentials are moving people into great quality, high-paying jobs. So yes, there's going to be changes. We're going to argue for additional funding, but I also want to be smarter in how we use the funding that we have. We have close to a $43 million budget. That's substantial. Our tuition, we've continued to maintain at a relatively low rate, 50 to 75% less than any other institutions, particularly our four-year institutions. So managing those dollars, fighting for those dollars, finding new partners and new revenue sources, not just public revenue sources, but working with companies and finding ways to build workforce training programs for them and going in and being, we've met with Ramilda Crocamo, the Luzerne County manager, where she wants the community college to be their workforce development training center for their staff so they can recruit and retain employees. We've met with Bob Fume, the executive director of the Luzerne County Transit Authority. He wants us to build a training program where we go right to their site, which they have a beautiful
Fabulous,
new facility in Wilkes-Barre.
Yep.
So there are other revenue sources above and beyond public, but we are a public institution. I continue to emphasize this phrase: community is in our name.
That's
community is our mission, and community is exactly what we're building with these 40,000 alumni building their communities every day by investing in those communities and in the careers that they've chosen in terms of their LCC education.
It must be exciting, John, for you to be able to see all these great things happening, and it just keeps you going, doesn't it?
Well, I love the region, I love the college, and I'm getting to know the faculty and staff and love their passion. And how they look at student support, how they look and invest themselves and their lives in these students. And you could tell the reason we're successful, we're a human enterprise, and we're making investments in our students. So I'm excited every day to come to work. That's to be driven by purpose and passion. I'm blessed to have that kind of job.
You know what I like, because we're starting this show and people are saying, what do you think, John doing a good job? I said, let me tell you, we're very fortunate to have John Yudichak as the president of LCC. Not that the other presidents didn't go. Larry did a fabulous job. But I think what you're going to do here, and don't let me down, I think you're going to do wonderful, because you're a great person and you have that determination and the knowledge, and you have a feel for what's going on. And that's the important. You're not up in the ivory tower, but you see what's going on here.
One of the first new positions that I created was a Chief Strategic Engagement Officer. And working under the president's office, someone that's going to engage externally. We're going to meet with everybody in business and industry. I just met with medical construction equipment recently, talking about a heavy equipment technician program. Some of our neighboring colleges have a similar program. It's something that can build a great career. That's exactly what the college needs to be. It has to be engaged externally, but it also has to be engaged internally. Nobody knows their classroom better than Dr. Mrozinski. I'm not going to find it in a book, in a spreadsheet. That's right. He's going to educate me and the president's office and say, these are the resources we need. This is the direction we need to go. And that level of collaboration and engagement and empowerment, that's my job as the president of Luzerne County Community College.
Wish you the best. My friends, President John Yudichak. This is the Luzerne County College Community Report, done every month to bring you what's going on. A lot of things happening, a lot of great things happening here in Luzerne County. Remember my email, sam@ssptv.com. Yes, I did get some of your messages, and we'll review them for the next show. But if you have any questions or comments you'd like to get to me, sam@ssptv.com. We'll see you next time.